Let me see your festive hat.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the AV Experience. I'm your host, Ryan, joined as always by Jonathan Von England. My festive hat.
Yeah.
This
Right
is the
before we
festive
went
hat.
live, he's like, I was going to wear a
This is
festive
the
hat, but it
hat.
didn't look great.
Very
What is
festive.
on the front of it? I can't even tell what that
These
is.
are the hats I wear. It's the hat company. It's made by a company called Mammoth because I have a huge head.
I do
And
too.
So these hats, look, it's a snapback and I'm all the way at the end.
No way.
Yes.
Are you
yes,
sure you have a huge head? Because
Yes, I do. Normally, I have to wear them, and Jonathan, maybe I should share these with you. I have to wear snapbacks like this,
the last one or the
like
last
that,
two.
like all the way at the very end. And
Yeah.
invariably on some of my hats when I wear them, it always ends up looking like this.
Yeah,
So I
super
found
lame.
this company. This is not, we won't stay on this very long because I know you guys don't care. Called Mammoth. And yeah, snapbacks. They fit like this. So it's
Then
awesome.
you don't look retarded. I like this.
Yes, I'll share the company with you. They're fantastic. I have a bunch of them, but this one's called the something festive, and they have a size bigger than this,
Oh,
like an XXL, and I put it on, and it felt like I was wearing a bucket.
it just falls down.
It's huge. But there's somebody out there that's got a massive noggin, way bigger than me.
When I tried out for football in 7th grade, they didn't have a helmet that fit me right.
Yes.
Embarrassing. And whenever I played baseball, the helmets were always like super
there was
tight.
always there's Ryan's helmet sitting by itself over in the corner. Everybody else that would put it on would be like wobbling all over their head. Yeah, it's the same stuff.
Oh man.
And it's not that there's anything extra in here, it's just void. That's all it is. There's nothing special going on in this head. So I got this in today because I ordered the wrong one. So I was excited about that, but it's too bright for the stream. It looks, I love it, but people are going to look like, what is Ryan wearing? What is going on?
Your camera can't focus on it. It just blows it out.
So did you watch any movies lately?
I did.
What'd you watch?
Madagascar last night with the kids.
The OG Madagascar.
Never saw it. Yeah, the original one.
You never saw it?
I've never seen it. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
I'm looking forward to watching more of them. I think since the last time we talked, did I tell you that I watched a couple movies with some guys from church? Was that podcast?
You watched 13 Warriors.
Yes, and The Mummy, the original Mummy.
I didn't know about The Mummy.
Yeah, we watched that after.
Like the original Mummy, or
the one with Brendan Fraser from 1990s.
Okay. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah,
both those are fun. Mummy holds up well. It's still a fun movie.
It does. We went on the Mummy roller coaster in Universal in California.
Mm-hmm.
My 7-year-old was scared.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a scary ride. And then my head did not agree with it going backwards. So that was fun. And then we tried to watch the movie and she thought it was a little too scary. I mean, I didn't remember how scary it was. It's actually, for a 7-year-old, quite a scary movie.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. We had a 14-year-old young man there in our little church group, and his parent told me that he got a little nervous and 3 a.m. and couldn't sleep even at 14.
It's a little dark. So she was a trooper through a little bit, but she got a little scared of it.
Did you guys quit it early and then she's hiding?
No.
You watched it all the way through?
No. Oh, we quit it early because she was like, I don't want to watch this. It's too scary.
Uh-huh.
That was fine because we were watching it for her. So she wanted to try it and it was a little too scary for her. So it was okay. It was okay. So you did those 2 movies.
Yes, and the Fallout series. I'm really enjoying that.
We've started that. Yes. We've started the 2nd season.
Mm-hmm.
I need to pull up. I've been trying to get back into tracking all my movies on Letterboxd because I forget what I watch. What have I watched? Got to bring it up. Come on.
While you're bringing that up, one more. We've watched the first couple episodes of Ken Burns' Civil War, like the 90s documentary. It's so good. Have you watched that? It's really, really good.
And then you've got to watch the
Vietnam one he made more recently.
Yes, that one's even worse. I mean, make you feel bad worse. It's amazingly well done. It's just amazingly well done.
So at the end of episode 1 from that Ken Burns Civil War, there's a poem that's written by one of the soldiers to his wife that he dies within the next week or so. And it's so emotionally like grabbing. Yeah. it was like something I would wanna play for M-Wave, it was so good, and had nothing to do with audio or video, just, like, the emotion of it, you
Mhm.
know? Like, how can a documentary yes, it can.
Mhm. So what did I watch? I watched, um I don't remember what I told you we watched. Ex Machina. Did we talk about that last
Yes.
time? Yeah.
Mhm.
So the last movies I watched, I finished Alita: Battle Angel because evidently I didn't finish that. You and I watched Predator: Badlands. Did we talk about that? We talked about that.
No, did we?
Did we? I thought we did.
What day did we watch that? Would it 'cause
Maybe we didn't. We watched it Saturday.
we wouldn't have streamed after that.
Oh,
So we need to talk about
we
that.
need to talk about Predator: Badlands. Today I watched The Descent. It's like a
That's a scary one, isn't it?
early 2000s horror movie. I like horror movies, not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror movies, but I like sci-fi horror movies, absolutely. Those are some of my favorites. I
I
love
think
those.
that Descent is rated on a lot of lists to be one of the scariest movies ever made. Do you
It
agree with that, or do you think that's too
No,
strong?
not at all, in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how one could reach that conclusion.
I mean, it's on lists. I think one of the group
Well,
chats I was
people
talking
need to check their lists because that was not I mean, it was fine. The movie was okay. It had a twist at the end that I really appreciated, and it wasn't a huge twist, but it was good. I liked the twist, and I felt like what I wrote in the review, I write reviews on, like, little tidbits so that I can remember to go back on some of these movies, and I said, "If the more of the movie was like that, it would have been much better." Because the makeup and the effects and stuff, they were really well done. Like, it was a well done movie. It just the plot left it hanging, I felt like.
It's a group of people go spelunking and find creatures that are unknown to man that chase them and pursue them, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're creatures. I think they're actually men that got stuck down there, and then over a long period of time, that's like Golem
Okay.
kinda thing. 'Cause they were very similar to men, so it felt like they were men, and it had just over hundreds of years, that's what they had become. Um, I talked about Badlands when I was flying solo. Okay, well, we'll talk about that, and then John brought over the Valerian Max, so I did see it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. Um, let's talk
And
about
then
Predator:
and then
Badlands.
3 or 4 of us went to go see,
Yeah, you did that,
Avatar: Fire and Ash.
and you didn't invite me.
I did invite you. It was last minute for everyone.
You did, and I couldn't go. So, let's not talk about Avatar because 'cause I'm gonna wait for it to hit Kscape, then we'll talk about it.
Mhm.
Let's talk about Predator.
Mhm.
What was your feeling on this?
It was
Because
better than
people
Prey, in my opinion. I
Yeah,
I didn't like Prey.
Prey was okay. I liked that Prey was more serious. Do we care about spoilers here? Probably.
Prey's long enough you don't have to have worry about
Well,
that.
not on Prey, but on Predator: Badlands.
Probably, it's fairly new. Didn't it just come out for disc?
What? Prey?
No, Badlands.
Badlands? Yes, it just came out. So we'll be spoiler nice on Predator: Badlands. I would agree. I felt like it was a more enjoyable movie than Prey. Prey, I liked what Prey did. I liked the concept. It failed on the execution.
I mean, I think we talked about Prey in one of our previous podcasts. Like,
We
my
did.
opinion on that was it's just bad. I didn't like that one at all.
It wasn't that bad.
I
You're a hard
it's
man to
bad.
please. You don't like Pacific Rim, so I don't know that I can trust your movie judgment.
What Badlands, what was your letter grade for it? Like, think school letter grades. A C is average, A is excels, D is fails,
It was like a
or
C to a B
less
minus.
than average.
It's like a C to a B minus. It was
Yeah,
fine.
I'm in the same ballpark.
It was fine. I didn't dislike it, but I'm not compelled to go rewatch it again.
What do you think I mean, I think everyone in that room felt the same way. Bob was there, Kevin was there, John was there. John had to leave early, but
Mhm.
all of us kind of were talking about it at the end, and we were thinking like, "It's okay.
I
It's
liked
enjoyable."
I liked what they did with the Predator. I liked what they did. I enjoyed knowing what's going on with the Predator race, like getting that. 'Cause they have to communicate, like, they're a civilization, they have to do I get that. What I didn't like was the stupid comedic relief.
The Disneyfication of it with the
I
little
did not like that.
sweet little comedy monkey
Dumb.
thing that they friend
And
and
somebody posted that in chat. that Marvel has ruined action movies.
Marvel has?
'Cause
Why
that's
would
what
Marvel?
Marvel did. It's all these interjunctions of funny, witty one-liners that, "Ha, it's funny," and then they go back to action. It's just unneeded.
The
'Cause
thing to me was the droid was not funny. I think she was put in there to be funny, but she was not enjoyable to me at all.
No. No, it wasn't. There was maybe one line that I thought was funny, and then everything else was annoying.
There was a whole lot of plot contrivances. But what
Yeah.
I do think was fun about it, beside I thought it was a bad movie, frankly, but I liked the imagination they employed. Like,
Yes.
there's some neat creatures they created and a neat world they created.
Yeah.
The writing wasn't great beyond the imagination, in my opinion.
I think the plot would have been fine for a Predator movie if the droid wasn't there. The droid was dumb. There was no need for that. It would have been I think it would have been better if it was the
Not only
same.
dumb, but illogical. Illogical in that universe.
Yeah,
'Cause this
it
is a
would.
place where no humans exist.
What was the droid's name in Aliens? What
Uh,
was his name?
Bishop?
Bishop. It would have been so much better. Same plot, Bishop. If it
Yes.
was Bishop,
Agreed.
movie would have been far better. Probably
Agreed.
would have been a B, B+. I
Agreed.
rewatchability totally. If the droid was there is no place, in
For a
my
comedic relief
opinion,
droid.
for in the Predator or Aliens universe for something like that. Imagine if you took that humor and threw it into Aliens. Like if Alien Romulus was like that.
No, no, it doesn't make any sense.
It's dumb.
Well,
So
and then I mean, the little Disney sidekick didn't make any sense to me either. Like, that just doesn't need to be there. They were trying to make some humor in this movie. It didn't need it. And I don't think, frankly, I know you said you kinda liked the backstory of the aliens or the predators. I'm not sure we even need that 100%. Like, did we need all that backstory to still tell the same tale? It
mm,
humanized it, and it's not a human. I mean, it's kinda it took away some of the mystique, some of the mystery on the predator. I don't know. I'm not a fan of any of that, really, personally.
yeah, it probably would have been better. I think you're onto something there. I think it would have been better if the beginning was just set up where I don't know if I want to talk. Yes, I agree with you. I won't ruin it for people. Um, if it was less plot on that,
Yeah. I mean, they
because
literally, the predator could have just shown up there or even had the intro where he was picking out his hunt to prove himself to his clan and not had any of the backstory with the daddy issues and all that stuff. Like, you don't need any of that.
no,
And I won't go into the part that you're trying to avoid, but you don't need any of that to make the
no,
story better. It doesn't
no,
even make sense. It doesn't make sense in the universe that they've opened up and revealed so far through the other movies.
yeah. I think it's everything wants to have feelings, and it's a predator. It's not a person.
Right.
So it's okay if you're making a movie about killing things, and that's what the plot is, right? So Ryan is right, and I agree with that to a point that the plot is leading to other plots where, the end. I don't want to ruin it for people, but I
The
think the plot
creativity is the
existed
saving grace
because
on
of the overarching story that they're trying to tell, but I don't think it's needed. You don't have to have one continuous story. It can be, here's a Predator story. Here's another Predator story. Here's another one. It doesn't have to be this long, single arcing narrative,
Yeah, I
in
mean,
my opinion.
absolutely.
Anything else to say about Predator?
No, I mean, your theater is fantastic to watch a movie like that in. I really enjoyed watching it in your theater.
Demo material, that movie's great. There were excellent demo scenes in there. The whole movie is nonstop. Would you agree? I mean, there was a lot of action in that movie.
There's a lot of action, and it's neat from the context of having all the really creative world, but I
Mhm.
don't know that would win any, like, five-star base award type
No.
things or even, like, necessarily full atmos I mean, it's not like best of breed anything, but it does a good job overall as far as audio
Yeah.
and video.
It does a good job of putting everything together. The thing that I appreciate about that movie is I didn't go at any point and just go, "Man, that's a lot of bass," or "Man," there wasn't one thing that stood out,
Mhm,
which I really appreciate because that means that it's pulled together well.
mhm.
Watching something else, if I'm watching a movie and a particular scene makes me think, "Man, that's a lot of X, Y, or Z." To me, that's not a great execution because I'm noticing what is going on.
Mhm.
I wanna be captivated, and I don't wanna be pulled out of the immersive act, and that means immersion is breaking to me, and I never noticed anything like that with Predator. It was
Mhm.
very cohesive as far as, execution-wise. Story,
Plot
execution,
catharsis, all that stuff,
great.
yeah.
Visual effects team, outstanding. It people Bob was saying that the Predator looked goofy. I thought it was great. I thought he was fine. You
If you
think
go back
about
and look at the original Predator movie when they show his face, he has more detail and stuff in the, like, modulation of the colors and stuff than this one
yeah,
did. This was all kinda one color.
yeah.
I don't know that that necessarily means, like, bad.
No, it's an evolution, right? It's that movie came out in the '80s. So
Mhm.
it's just an evolution of what things have changed and morphed into as technology has changed, as they've been able to do more things. So I thought it was great. I think they did a great job.
I'm pulling up if I can find an image of it. I mean, there's pictures out here of this. I don't disagree with this type of discussion. Let me share my screen for just a second, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is I think Critical Drinker talked about this a little bit. When I watched some of the reviews on it after I watched it, I didn't go in with those reviews in mind, but share screen. Okay, tell me if you can see the screen.
Mhm.
So this is what they're talking about. Like on the 1980s Predator, it had potentially more facial detail, and the one on the right, the Predator Badlands, is kinda just brown.
Yeah.
Which is a strange choice to some degree, but you assume there's different species or different variations. I'm not too mad at that.
I think the one on the right in being in the movie looks more real. The one on the left kinda makes me feel like a Klingon with long hair. Um, it they're both fine. I don't have a problem with either of them. Don't have a problem.
Yeah.
Anything else to talk about with Predator?
No, I don't think so without giving away the story.
Okay.
So I do wanna ask one question for you, and I started to ask this earlier, but we kinda got sidetracked. There's an undying love for this. I mean, I watched a little short with Adam Savage saying, like, this is from Mythbusters. This is like, his favorite movie, and he thought it was so much better than Prey, and he loved Prey. And the scores on Rotten Tomatoes are kinda, like, knock out of the park scores, and I personally don't really understand that, and I don't think our group did from watching it the other night, and I was curious if you'd given that any more thought. Like, are we disconnected because we're older and grumpy than the people who are the modern
Adam
moviegoers?
Savage is older and grumpy. He's
That
older than us.
I mean, you go watch Adam Savage review on Badlands. He's, like, over the top exuberant about how fantastic it was, and he wants that director to make all the future Predator movies and take over the franchise and all this stuff. I mean, he's going on and on. Like, yeah, the
Mm.
movie's okay. There's a big difference in the way we walked away from that,
Hmm.
and it's not
I've
him alone. I mean, Rotten Tomato scores are blow away.
I've just come to realize that most people have there's so many differing opinions, and you could probably go and find somebody else with a soapbox and find a completely opposite opinion to Adam Savage.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. I think there's gonna be people all over the place. I've given up on
Trying to figure that
knowing
out.
if a movie's gonna be good or not based on anything because just recently it's a who knows?
Look what Kramer says. Adam Savage is a warm bundle of joy, a little different than those of us
Yeah,
in
he
this
is. That is true. So, he's probably looking at things different. I am personally, the darker the movie is, probably the better I'm going to appreciate it. Like, I'm darkness. My son and I watch anime, right? And he's all naming these happy-go-lucky anime, and I'm just if Satan isn't involved, I'm not watching it. Like, it's not dark. I'm that's a over the top, but
Wow.
I like dark storylines. I appreciate the original John Wick more than the other ones because there was a reason. There was a sadness with him, and it gave motive to everything. You start giving these happy I'm not watching this to make myself feel better, right? I'm not watching these movies to have comedic relief. I'll go watch a comedy. Don't give me that. It's not why I'm here. I want I've said this before. one of the movies that I really want is, and I don't think Disney will ever make this, I want a rated R version of Star Wars that talks about Darth Vader. And I want to know the reason that everybody fears Vader, like a biopic of Vader going through life. That'd be awesome.
Didn't you get that already with him killing the entire Raider camp where his mom was stationed, and then also him killing all the younglings? And
I mean, partly, but I want 2 hours of that. One of my favorite scenes, actually, my favorite scene in Star Wars, Rogue One ending, Darth Vader in the hallway, lighting up the lightsaber, and everybody just running.
Yeah.
Because it encapsulates everything that you think that character represents. And it was a great moment for his character. And I don't know, I think there's more emotion involved in those scenes, in those narratives, and I don't know. I guess that's why I like it. I don't know. I'm a terrible, dark.
Did you watch any of this Disney Plus Star Wars stuff, like Obi-Wan, for instance?
I did watch Obi-Wan.
Some Darth Vader stuff in there. That's the reason I bring that up.
Yeah, I felt like he was kinda lackluster in that.
Darth Vader was?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it had some of those same scenes you're
Yeah, it did. It was just I don't know.
Wasn't enough, huh? When he was fighting Obi-Wan in that scene, that was pretty intense.
I don't know. Can't explain it.
Which, by the way, that could be good demo material.
Too much brightness and sunshine in that series. Okay, let's talk about the Valerian. So I saw the Valerian.
Uh-huh.
I could still see on fast motion, I could still see RBE.
With which clips?
What was I watching? We turned on Into the Spider-Verse. We did, what else did I do? Crap. I did Pacific Rim, like the opening fight scene, because I wanted to see the contrast and the interesting stuff. There was another dark one that I turned on. I honestly don't remember. My memory is not good. But anyway.
Did you figure out if a color triggered it for you?
No, it wasn't a color. It was really anything. And it wasn't that it stood out. I just noticed that it bothered me. Like it felt like there was this thing around everything that was moving, like
color shifting. I mean, that happens to me without rainbow reduction mode on, but with it on, I didn't have
it happened with it on far less than with it off. And
well, the reason I was asking about a color is because I noticed that gray or silver type colors really triggered it with the Pro 2. And Pacific Rim has that. I mean, that's what the robots are. So I was wondering if that could have triggered it for you.
Potentially, but it happened a lot in Into the Spider-Verse. So I don't really have a good example of it. But I can safely say that I'm just super sensitive to it. So I can't let it be a mark on it. All I would say is just be aware of it, right? You want to make sure that you're aware of it. It doesn't mean that it's a bad projector. I think it's remarkable that they were able to remove it to the level that they were. That's fantastic.
And not only that, but TI said it was fantastic. Like TI said our engineers are impressed with what they did. That's cool.
So I'm not, by no means am I saying this is a mark against it. What I would tell people if I were selling it is just be aware of it, because if you are super sensitive to it, it's not going to be the projector for you. And that's okay. It's a limitation of a single chip DLP. They're trying to work around it through this mode that they have. But that brings up another thing that we talked about in chat is I can hear when the mode's on. So that's something else to consider, and I had likened it to the JVC 8K when that's on and it's got that high pitch whining, same kind of thing. I mean, it's not hugely loud, but when there's nothing on in the theater and really quiet scenes, I can absolutely hear it. So not a mark against it, because tons of projectors make noises like that. It just comes down to you got to be aware of it and make sure that when you're buying something, when you're buying a tool, that that tool is not impacting what you're trying to fix negatively. That's being aware of it. That's all. Everything's got little shortcomings and stuff. It's not necessarily a mark against it. It's just something to be aware of. Um, its dynamic contrast is great. It's far better than the Pro 2.
Yeah, I think it's worlds better, actually.
Yeah. The Pro 2, I can't recommend. The Max, I can recommend.
Yeah, I'm on the same page.
Is there anything else about it? I did notice screen door with it. I could see.
Were you on your 160-inch screen?
It wasn't zoomed out that far. We were probably on like a. He didn't change the zoom, so it was zoomed for like his 120.
Mm-hmm.
So from a 9.5 feet, I don't know what that technically made it, but I could see the pixel grid. And that may just be because of what I'm used to, right? I'm used to looking at the Griffin. And so it's anything that is different, I'm going to notice in that environment. So I don't think it's bad. It's just something to be aware of. It is an e-shifter. So something to consider when you're making a purchase. That's all. Still a great projector for the money, I think.
I was surprised I liked it as much as I did because I didn't like the Pro 2. So that's the same sort of takeaway for me. But I really liked the Max. Like I thought it was, and a lot of it from my perspective might just be that it boiled down to not being able to see rainbows so strongly. The Pro 2 rainbows are like out of control to my eyes.
Well, and Ryan says the reason you probably notice it on gray is because it's all three colors stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Pro 2 or with rainbow reduction off on the Max, like the trailer from Furiosa or Mad Max, the jets from Top Gun, like text that's white with gray backgrounds or whatever, all that just ignites that DLP RBE effect. And fast motion does too. Like I see it all kinds of way in fast motion, but I didn't personally on the Max. I saw it one time in all those clips.
Yeah, I did. We weren't using any level of motion smoothing. So there's no motion interpolation.
And you were going through the Mad VR, right?
I didn't have it on in that either. It was all off. So I was trying to give it. I told John this, like, I'm not concerned about the motion. It's not what I'm looking at. Everything's going to have a level of motion interpolation. People are going to look at things and they're going to think it's better or worse. I mean, there's workarounds for that, for things like Mad VR or source device, whatever. I'm looking at for what it does hardware wise. Like, what is it doing? So Mad VR took out of the equation all the tone mapping and all that stuff. So I tried to focus on, can I see the RB? What's its sharpness look like? What's the black floor? How bright is it? It was bright. It was interesting how they're getting the brightness, right? Their lumen spec that they're giving you is in that high output mode. That looks really green.
Yeah.
So I think without that, you're at like 2,500 lumens.
That's cinema one type range.
Something.
Or is that just the?
I don't remember what it was.
With more natural colors. I don't know either.
But it's significantly less than what they state as the maximum output. Significantly less, and that's okay. I mean, it's $4,000. Can't expect the world, so it's a compromise. But I hate it when manufacturers do that. Right? Hey, you're gonna get this, but this mode's unusable. So just kind of annoying. You have any other thoughts on it?
No, I mean, I think we talked about it in our previous thing with the Kansas City guys that were here. So on the Max thing was already covered by my notion. So I guess I will mention one thing. In Sheldon's room, I don't think Sheldon's noise floor is as low as your room as far as the noise floor. I asked if the guys, like, I know my hearing caps out between 14 and 15,000 kilohertz. I'm 46 and that's where my hearing ends. I don't hear above that at normal volumes. And so I think you said you hear up to 18,000 kilohertz right now. So I don't know whether it was lost in the noise floor of Sheldon's room because he has an HVAC system in there and it's not treated or anything. And the HVAC was on a good portion of the time. And we had two projectors running. But for what it's worth, Chirpy, Ryan in here, Ryan Kramer, was saying he also hears up to about 18,000 hertz. and he didn't hear it in Sheldon's room from the front row. So the max was behind the second row when the
So
RBE reduction.
I kind of wonder, and this is something that maybe John can do if he's watching, because John didn't hear it nearly as much. I think he said that when he got close to it, he could hear it. But I wonder if it depends on what side of the projector you're on.
That could be with a
Maybe I was just
fan
on the right side to
outlet
be able to
something.
hear it, and that's where that particular sound was emanating from. That'd be worth investigating. So, but I can hear.
There's 2 pieces of that as well. Maybe it's above 15,000 hertz, which is why I didn't hear it, maybe. And maybe you need a pretty quiet noise floor, like a specifically treated room like yours to try to
Maybe
be bothersome.
John really couldn't hear it either. So worth investigating. I don't think it's a buy or don't buy consideration. I mean, I guess it could be depending on the room and if you're sensitive to those noises, but there's a lot of projectors that make those kind of noises. So
yeah, it's like a little electrical mosquito noise type thing is what I understand from.
Yeah.
I could hear that on the JVC E-Shift in, with the different units, but I didn't hear it on the Valerian, at least.
Even on the JVC, you can hear it more from the back than you can the front. So, gotta consider it. Or we should look into that to see where it's coming from. But overall, I like the projector. I think it did a good job. Not outside of what I was saying, and you take it for what it is. I mean, it's a single chip DLP. It's not magic. So its native contrast without the iris is 1200 or so to 1, which is to be expected. With the iris, you're going to get,
I think they said 1800-ish to 1, maybe.
I'm looking at ratings just came out with a review on it, and they measured 1200 1.
Yeah, I haven't looked at ratings recently, but I know a lot of guys on ABS Forum are saying that RTI and GS or whatever, their website needed to do projectors very differently than they had in the past.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they have fixed it. I haven't followed it.
They released a change log that said that they're measuring them differently now. So I don't know. That's just what they said.
What do they give something that if you're on the site, what do they give something like that?
I just saw it earlier.
Okay.
So take it with a grain of salt, I guess. Under 2,000, we'll say, which is totally normal for a single chip DLP. And with the iris, you're looking at what, 4,000 to 1 somewhere.
Dynamic will be higher than that for sure.
I'm saying native, not dynamic.
Yeah. I think you're in the ballpark there.
Yeah. Dynamic's going to be way higher than that. I mean, you're talking 28.
The dynamic looks really good on that max. I think we all agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At least when EBL engages correctly, which is a good portion of the time in our experiment with the clips we watched. I don't know if EBL was behaving for the most part. There's a couple clips it didn't out of like 23 clips, but for the most part it was behaving.
Oh, Pacific Rim looked great. Pacific looked great. So I tried to watch dark content and move back and forth to see what it was doing, and it looked fine. Didn't have any issues. $4,000. Good projector. I still hate the form factor. I hate the mounting, but it is what it is. I get the design premise. Most people probably aren't going to mount it. It's going to sit on a table. It's going to do this stuff. Fine. I just can't get over it. It'd be cool if they released one that was in more of a traditional form factor. It is.
I agree. I think they probably will. There's got to be demand for it as they start to rival more of the big industry players, and they are starting to do that. As they start to, they'll probably try to assume that position as well, like the full size chassis with the long throw and that kind of stuff.
Would be good. Do detachable lenses and stuff. It would be good. Okay, well, if you guys got questions about anything, drop them in chat. There's only a few of them, so maybe it'll be a super short stream. We did start at 8 instead of 7. But there's only 3 questions in chat. So if we get through these and nobody's asking questions, you and I get an early night. Maybe there's only 2. I've only got 2 pinned. Okay. Well, K for Constant says, do you guys have any experience with Pierce Audio subwoofers? I just found about them. They make RBH 21-inch subwoofers. Looks like good bang for the buck, depending on size and output. But found a critic.
I have not.
I have no experience with them. I mean, I've heard the RBH 21 when it was an M-Wave last year. but I've never seen measurements. I've never spent a lot of time with them. So I'm not a great person to pass judgment. Jonathan?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I don't have any experience with that to give you any direction. I would go to ABS Forum and look in the do-it-yourself section and maybe look up RBH to see what people can say or have found out.
Did you see the new mini DSP preamp?
I did. The Tide 16?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool. And it's got art.
Yeah. Which is strange because they said they're including it for all free, and I'm thinking, well, like, wait a minute.
It's not free.
Nobody else is doing it for free. They said it's free on the website.
Oh, they're including it for free
in their price.
It's included in their price is what I meant.
Sure.
It's in there somewhere. Like, they're charging you. It's just
Sure.
Yeah, but you see the SYNAD on that thing?
Yeah, it'll be a chart stomper if it's true, but until ASR, someone measures it, I would take that with a grain of salt to some degree.
That's insane if that's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's stomping like the best right now, as far as I know. SYNAD, and last time I looked, was still the AV10 as far as a processor with lots of channel count. This thing was crushing the AV10 if it's true, but that's. I mean, it looked on their website, they had measurements taken. They weren't just pulling out of the rear ends because they had graphs and charts and FFTs and all that kind of stuff. But I would want a third party to measure it before you take the first party at face value. Yeah. 3 HDMI inputs is really the only shy piece there. And that might not be a problem for a lot of people. You got a game console, you got like Apple TV, maybe a PC. 3 is probably enough for a lot of people.
I think it is for a lot of people. I use 2 sources on mine.
I don't think that it's like a new coming as far as price performance, because we've had the monoprice for 5 years now, the H2P one. We've had the 6800 was as cheap as $3,500 to $4,000 type range. And that's got 13 channels, not 16, but it's got 4 subs, so total it's about the same. The other thing about the Tide 16 is it only has HDMI 2.0 if you care about that, for 120 hertz 4K gaming. But Mini DSP has a large following and makes a good product, so I would expect this to be a good product.
I hope so. Cool. Be good for the market. I did send them an email about becoming a dealer. So they got back to me and said they have to fix something with their dealer process, and then they'll let me know. So hopefully we'll have access to it. That would be good. I am excited about that product. That kind of came out of nowhere. Finster78, when I'm using REW to align 6 subs, after the first 4 are aligned to get the max output, is it okay to use EQ on the last 2 to fix specific nulls, as opposed to aligning them to gain further max output?
After the first 4 are aligned to get the max output, is it okay to use EQ on the last 2 to fix specific nulls as opposed to aligning them to gain further max output?
I don't think you want to do that. He's saying that, like, if you've got in the 4 that are aligned together, if you've got a null somewhere, what I'm assuming he's doing is boosting specific regions in that one sub in order to eliminate that null.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do that.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this kind of like in different contexts a lot of times. Let's say, let's put it to practice. You have a 40 hertz null and it's got an 8 dB null there, and you've got max output on the others, but because they're all stacked on each other in front of the room, you got this 40 hertz null. You're going to then take these other subs, put them somewhere else, hopefully, and then try to boost 40 hertz to get that to pop up out of there. The problem is you're boosting it for one listening position. You're boosting it for like wherever your mic is, your main listening position. And so who knows, without you measuring the other positions or doing some sort of averaging, what you're doing to the other positions. And it likely is not good. So that's the caution that we would issue.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, my recommendation in that is play with positioning. If you play with the positioning more, even moving your seating position,
or even moving the front 4 that he's already.
Yeah. That's my point.
Max outlet. Yeah,
that's absolutely my point.
Move the subs, move the seats, move the locations, front wall, mid wall. Like play with that, because you can get Your best idea, rather than using EQ to get a flat response, is using the placement to get a flat response, and then your EQ can be less intense,
And
less.
a lot of times when you're doing those and you're going through and you're adding EQ, if you time align them all and then go back and eliminate some of your filters, you'll find out that those filters are doing nothing after you've gotten everything aligned.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you don't just have a bunch of filters in there that are mucking with phase, because all the filters are mucking with phase. And they're actually, in a lot of cases, not doing it. Some of them will be, but I would encourage you to check. Regarding projectors, this is from King Teaspoon. I'm probably saying your name wrong, but King. Regarding projectors, would you personally prioritize immersion over black levels? Example, QL3000 with 165-inch scope or a NZ900 with 150-inch scope?
Don't you think for the top of this conversation, we should make that a QL7000? Because that's the same price.
Yes.
More so than QL3000.
Yes. Yes. Part of this is subjective preference.
Mm-hmm. As proved out with our January 2025 projector shootout.
Yes.
We had the QL7000 and the NZ900 on Ryan Kramer's 200-inch screen.
Mm-hmm.
We had a dozen guys there, and it was literally about half and half that had their preferences on either one of the projectors.
Mm-hmm.
And they presented very differently. So it's going to be what you want. Like, do you prefer a brighter, more HDR poppy image, or do you prefer like truly deeper blacks and more of a kind of a OLED-esque type approach?
Well, part of it's going to be what screen material are you using and what's your room like?
Ambient light control, light color themes, like all those things absolutely play into it. How much velvet do you have? Do you have black ceilings? Do you have white carpet, white furniture? Like all those things play into your decision.
Well, and I'm going to throw this out there that a lot of people don't consider: throw distance too.
Mm-hmm.
The JVCs historically have a more limited throw than a lot of the Epsons do, especially with the Epsons having detachable lenses. I mean, if I'm comparing just the JVCs against the LS12000 or QB1000, the Epsons have a much more superior throw than the JVC.
More range is what you're saying.
Yes, they can be closer and further away in a lot of instances.
Left, right, up, down. They just have more tolerance for how far they can be outside of.
And they also typically have a much faster motor if you're doing shifting than the JVCs do. So if that's a consideration, in a lot of situations it's not, but just throwing that out there that there is a difference there. Now, where do you sit in this?
So at that shootout at Ryan's house, I liked the QL7000 probably on 85% of the content, and I liked the NZ900 on probably 15%. So of those two, at that thing where we compared them all day long, I like the QL7000 better. In his room. Now, if you had a 150-inch screen, I'm probably going to change my tune and go with the NZ900.
If you had a 150-inch screen and could do a Studio Tech 130, I'd probably do an NZ900. But you've got. Would you do that with a woven screen though?
Your thing about it relating to the room totally plays in here, because Ryan Kramer's room is not that dark, right? It's just not that dark. It's mid-tone themes.
But doesn't he have a really positive gain screen?
Yes, he does. If you're willing to black out your room and have black paints, black themes, black velvet, you're going to appreciate the contrast levels of the JVC. If you're not willing to do that and you want to have like a cheery themed room or mid-toned or brighter, or you just have like white carpets, white ceiling stuff, get the QL, because it can kind of overcome some of those limitations in your room and still be bright enough. Like if you want to watch with the lights on, get the QL. If you want a dark room where everything else disappears and you're just looking at the image, then get the JVC. That's as simple as I can put it. And I think that would play out most all the time. And image size comes into it, but even defeating image size. I mean, Sheldon has a JVC NZ500 on 150H CinemaScope, and that's not a bright projector. It's a 2,000 lumen projector, and it looks fantastic because he has a third of his room is velvet and the rest is dark colored, and he has full ambient light control. And so even 2,000 lumens really pops in the room for the most part on a 158-inch woven screen because of all the velvet. Like your eyes adjust to the velvet, and that's your black. But if your eyes are adjusting to like a white paint, you don't need the black like that.
Well,
You can't even see the black like that.
not only do they adjust to the white paint, but the reflections kill it.
Mhm.
Right? They're gonna kill your
It would look
contrast.
way too dim on that same screen if his walls were white. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
Like the NZ500 would not be a usable projector in his room if everything was white. You wouldn't even like it.
Now, I'm kinda ruined. The Griffin has kinda ruined me because the Griffin, I think its native contrast we measured with my light meter. It wasn't measured with a Jetty, but we measured it was like 5,700 to 1. So we'll say 5,000 to 1, okay,
Mhm.
which is what it's rated for. Really high interesting contrast, and I saw Tim saying that, "What good is it when the darks are all gray?" Man, I don't care because of what the bright scenes look like and the interesting contrast, the difference between the darks and the lights. When you're looking at something like even the flare, like the stairs, if you're at the bottom of waking up in Eucharist, the stairs, the JVC kicks its ass, right? There's no, when he's waking up at the bottom of the floor, bottom of the stairs, no question, the dark scene. As soon as you go outside, don't care anymore. And it's dark. I don't care. The Griffin just blows it away. There is no comparison. So to me, I like brightness, but I think the brightness has to come with what is good enough. And good enough is subjective in a
Mhm.
lot of situations. And like you said, it's room dependent. It is highly dependent on the use case of the room.
Mhm.
And I did a solo stream on Tuesday about this where I said the first thing you should ask yourself when you're trying to figure out, like in this situation, when you're trying to figure out what projector to do. In my situation, in my comparison, it was designing a room from the ground up. First thing you should ask yourself is, what is this room going to be used for? Is it only going to be used for watching movies? And then once you figure out that, what is it going to be used for? Multi-case, media room, living room, just movies? Am I going to be doing yoga? Whatever. Then figuring out how is the room's aesthetic going to be?
Mhm.
Because the aesthetic, as you dictated, greatly impacts how things are going to look on the screen. And if you're trying to make things look as good as they can, you've got to choose the right tool for the job. And the right tool is not always the same, especially with what you were saying. Lighter color walls, lights on, depends on screen size. You're probably going to choose a different display.
Mhm.
Throw, even what I brought up earlier, throw distance. Maybe you got to throw that the JVCs just won't work. These are
Mhm.
all things that have to be considered. But for the majority of people that have really big screens, you're kind of in this, King, you're kind of in this no man's land of which one would be right for you, unfortunately. Um,
You would be best served to actually see both of those and see
yeah,
what you prefer because they present so differently, man. I mean, like, truly present so differently, and opinions are just flat out skewed. Like Tim, you see Stitch once 1007 in the comments saying he doesn't like the QL7000. He saw it in my room. He doesn't like it. Fine. I liked it. I saw the same display in my room. I would take that in an instant. I love that QL7000. So, like, we saw the same thing and we walked away with different opinions. He wants like basically OLED or die type black levels. Well, you give up 3 times the brightness. So, you just have to decide what you like, really.
that is true. And it's subjective. And I would encourage you to see this. And Jonathan, you and I have said this multiple times to many people. King, if you're in the US, just come to Kansas City and see everything
Sure.
in rooms.
Sure.
Jonathan's got a QL 3000. I can get a QL 7000 that you can see. Does anybody have an NZ 900 here?
No, not right now.
No, but I can get one. Um, it's worth seeing, and it's worth seeing out of a big box store.
Yes, because it's hugely different.
Big time different. They are not the same. And I've had multiple customers come through, and when you're buying a $30,000 projector, it is worth a flight to go see what this stuff to
Yeah.
make sure you're getting the right thing. It's worth it. So that offer's on the table if you want it. You can email us, text us, whatever. Our contact info is on AVS. I can put up mine, I guess. There you go. That's not gonna work with the I guess it'll work. You can scan that and you can email me. You don't even have to buy anything. I just wanna make sure that, and Jonathan does too, that you're getting what is right for your situation. Don't waste money.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that same context, the QL3000 and the NZ500 are probably pretty similar to what the QL7000 and NZ900, the difference would be, because it's basically 3 times brighter. The QL3000 is 3 times brighter than the NZ500, but the NZ500 has the black level. So basically, you could extrapolate seeing the QL3000 NZ500 to the NZ900 and the QL7000.
You could.
It'd be pretty similar.
Yeah, you could. I would agree with that.
So, like those projectors I both have, King. So if you come to Kansas City, look it up, and I can give you a demo. They have their advantages, man. I mean, I watched Madagascar with the kids last night, like I mentioned earlier in the stream. That looked fantastic on the QL3000.
Oh, the QL crushes it.
There's no way I'd pick this on the JVC, a movie like this. There's just no way. And so they both have their strengths. We've talked about this on many podcasts.
Jonathan sits there like this. Scene.
I wish you could have fast switching.
Jonathan's just sitting in the back doing this. He's got a booklet that he's laid out for what scene needs to be on what projector, and he's got arms of steel doing this.
Yeah, I mean, so just to get a little chuckle out of some of the people in the audience that think 100 nits is enough, I'm at 375 nits when I'm at 16:9. This is a 16:9 movie. So I'm watching this thing at close to 400 nits, and it's glorious. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. It's just bright and poppy and punchy and fun.
And I'm at 165 inches from 9.5 feet, and I'm at 320 nits, and I've never met somebody that said it's too bright.
Yeah.
The comment that I get is, this looks like an OLED. This looks, when the Kaleidoscape video wall's up, they're like, this looks like an OLED.
Mm-hmm. It looks beautiful on that.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Brightness, baby.
Mm-hmm.
People like the light. Porch mode exists for a reason.
Uh-huh.
Jonathan's just, when you go in his room, it's just a big 500 nits of blue. All it is. Here's the demo. Blue. All right. BEQ. STL Sports audio fan. Can you talk to BEQ? I tried over the last few days. It's worse on every movie I tried. However, my base is already good to start. What is you don't use BEQ, really?
No.
And Sheldon used to and doesn't anymore.
He says it's worse on every movie you tried. So can you give a little bit more information on that, St. Louis sports audio fan, why you feel that way? Because I don't know that it's supposed to be worse on every movie you try. I mean, that's not the intent. The intent is just to, of course, increase bass that's filtered off by the studios to make it just a neutral bass response. But the problem I have with it, Sheldon used it, I've been in his room a lot when he uses it, is that it brings out artifacts that obviously weren't intended to be there. You talked about earlier on the stream, Magneto puts his helmet on, just literally puts his helmet on, and we're all in there just like bouncing around on the, hover easy. Like, it was insane. And Sheldon did it as like a party trick, but I was just thinking like, this is silly. And you run into that enough where Sheldon stopped using it for that reason. Because he's like, there's little weird anomalies that kind of take you out of the movie. The immersion factor breaks when you run into those.
And if you've got good bass, audio fan, you're not chasing it nearly as much. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that BEQ's bad. Different strokes for different folks.
Sure.
But I'm never in a place where I'm thinking, man, I wish I could have more. No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But some people, that's their thing. Maybe it's just not your thing. Maybe. So one thing I did, you and I noted, and I was showing people this at M-Wave in 24, was that people have a tendency to misconstrue lower frequencies coming out of subs. Like if I'm playing pink noise to a sub, or if I'm playing, I don't know, even a frequency sweep, they will assume that the sub that gets lower is actually distorting. Sometimes. Multiple people said that to me in M-Wave when I was doing sub sweeps. They're like, that one doesn't sound as good. And it was actually getting significantly lower.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were misconstruing because they didn't have a correlation between them. they were misconstruing everything, and they assumed that what it was actually playing was distortion, and it wasn't. It was it playing lower frequencies, which was interesting. Food for thought.
I think people hear that differently too, because I've run into that a little bit too, where people say something doesn't sound right and you can measure it and it sounds good to me or used to it. I think some of that comes down to what you're used to, like home field advantage that we talked about before. Like I'm used to a sub that rolls off at 35 hertz, therefore that's what sounds natural to me and that's what I like type thing. I'm not saying me, I'm just saying as a person. And the next person says I'm used to subs that play 10 hertz and I have a house curve that raises at the bottom end and that's what I'm used to. And anything that doesn't do that sounds weak to me or anemic to me. So you
Yeah.
have that kind of like familiarity, home field advantage thing. And then if you don't have good treatments or you don't have like your room properly set up, your subs properly dialed in, some of those low frequencies they'll bounce around the room and linger and cause
Forever
ringing. And like people sometimes want that cut out.
And Audio Fam, we're not saying that's what's happening to you. We're just giving a general basis of what people can run into. You're absolutely right. The decay times on those longer frequencies, lower frequencies sometimes can be forever. Ever and ever.
We got a super chat in there.
I saw that. Drew Arredondo with the $100 super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. I don't like what you said in your message, though. I had a poopy week. Appreciate the home theater community to cheer me up and distract me. Have a good 3-day weekend. Buy some Kaleidoscape or Blu-rays on me for the weekend.
Drew, that's super generous, man. Thank you.
Much appreciated, my friend. I hope you are doing okay. I am going to call you after the stream is over if it's not too late for me and see how you're doing. But Jonathan, you're in IT. Do you ever get a 3-day weekend? Because I sure as heck don't.
You can. Like if there's change windows around Christmas time in our IT wing, like they'll throw a change window in there, change window freeze, like during the holiday, and you can have a little break there. But they're few and far between.
Break? I'm just imagining you taking your phone and turning it off.
No, I can't do that. I'm always on call.
Break.
But there shouldn't be things that are breaking on
trees. Whatever. You don't have a break. Bobby Digital with the hello. Have you guys discussed the elephant in the room, mini DSP Tide 16? We did. We're excited about it. Not sure what's going to do to the industry because, as you pointed out, the mono price has existed for a while.
Has been there for a long time. And then there's other players that are in that space. Like there's the Tone Winner thing that's like 13 channels for $1,300 or something like that. So it's not like this is breaking the world record for cheapest entry. It's just another entry, and having Dirac at that price point's nice.
I think that's
rewind it a little bit. You hear us talk about that a little bit earlier in the podcast, Bobby.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Very excited about it. Did that one. Okay. Paltravision Visano 9403. I'm terrible with these. Converted my 7.1 to a 5.1. My surrounds are now about 150 degrees from center. How much of a compromise do you think this is for most content?
150 degrees. That'd be pretty far back, right? 150 is like 180 is completely behind you. So 150 is like kind of where my rear surrounds are. I think my rear surrounds are 155.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a compromise. I don't think that's a compromise.
You're okay.
Isn't that within Dolby spec even?
I don't know, but I think you'd be okay.
Dolby spec 5.1 speaker angle. I'm pulling it up. Oh, Dolby spec is for a 5.1 is actually 110 to 120. I think it's the 7.1 when you get the 150.
But I think you could get away with that. I mean,
let's do a 7.1. Make sure I'm not confusing myself here. Yes, a 5.1 is not that high. A 7.1, the rear surrounds are supposed to be up to like 150.
Yeah, the 5.1, they're more next to you, slightly behind you.
I did behind me a lot of years in my previous.
I did too.
Previous room with a 5.1.
I did too. Room. I thought they were fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect, but it's fine. Don't beat
I think
yourself
that's
up about it.
better than people who put them at 90 degrees and blast the person on the end of the couch with one speaker, and that's
What?
a bad idea.
What'd you say? That's why you can't hear the Valerian's RBE noise. Too much of the 90-degree speaker. Happy Bullets. Since you need questions, Jonathan, do you use a velvet phone case to boost perceived contrast when you're watching movies?
I love that question. I need one. I don't have my phone on. No, I do have mine. No, I just have a commuter case by what's his name of that? It's like a OtterBox.
OtterBox?
Yeah. It's black case.
Do you have a belt clip?
I have one, but it's not on there. It's like a detachable one.
Use a belt clip?
I have. Inevitably you break them off though, don't you?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never used one.
Breaks
I
it?
don't know.
They're plastic.
I never wear pants with belts anymore, so I have no idea. Mine just go in the pocket.
I will say, man, I've had a lot of cheap cases over the year. This time I decided to get a better case because I keep breaking my dang screen.
Yeah.
These OtterBox cases are nice. I've heard a lot of positive things.
Several years ago, we first got Tech 21s before they were all over the place. And the selling point for us was the sales guy. We were buying new phones. And granted, he could have gotten a new phone. He took his phone out of his pocket, showed it was on in his phone, showed us the case, and then threw it across the room. That was the sales demonstration for the case. And it sold us because he picked it up. Like literally wasn't just a toss. It was a chuck, like 30 feet across the room. And the phone was fine. My wife and I looked at each other and just went, yeah, we'll have that. And it was effective. I'm sure that guy made all kinds of sales. Not sure how many phones he broke or if it was actually his phone, but it worked. And we've had Tech 21s ever since. And I've never had a broken phone. I dropped it like 4 times yesterday. And nothing's ever happened. So the case matters.
It does,
ladies and gentlemen.
I traditionally buy the little like $5 slick deal type cases, and
hell no
phones.
Hell no. That is not the way to go.
No, it's not.
No. Tim says he never wears pants anymore.
What's happening on this stream?
I did not say that. That is not what I said. I said it. Did I? I thought I said I don't wear pants with belts anymore. I guess Tim took that as me.
Are you wearing pants right now, Ryan? If you stand up, are you wearing pants?
I got pants. Don't tempt me, Jonathan. Are you wearing pants? All right. Macro says, what's the best projector mount on the market? Chief too hard to keep from walking and fine settings. Strong, too much play and wiggle.
Oh man, Chief is the best in my opinion.
It's walking? I have never had mine walk.
So Chief has several different mounts. Let's be fair. Some of them are not as good as others.
Find the right mount from Chief. Holy crap.
I think I can hang on a good Chief mount and it wouldn't give up. Like
you remember when the NZ series came out and they were saying, well, this mount won't work for these projectors anymore. It's only rated at 50 pounds.
And it weighs 55 pounds.
Hang from that dang thing and nothing would happen.
Absolutely.
And did you see the projector mount they were recommending?
Didn't look any better, did it?
It's enormous.
Yeah.
It's like,
nah, that's unnecessary.
It's huge.
Steel doesn't just snap like glass.
I bought one.
It would bend if it was going to break. And
I bought one for a customer. It came in from my distributor. I took it out of the box and just went, nope, and put it right back in the box and set it back.
I would have a Chief mount in this drawer normally, but I don't because I have 2 projectors hung right now. But I have both Chief mounts and they don't walk at all. And you can fine dial them in real nicely. There's a screw. First off, let me pull up the Chief mount so we can make sure we're talking apples to apples because they are not all the same. Let's go to entire screen and then share and then bear with me. Can you see my screen right now?
You ask that every time. Yes.
I always have to ask because half the time it doesn't work. This one is not as good. So this is an example of a mount that's not as solid. Do you see how there's these little set screws and it's just kind of like a smaller, lighter model? This is the Chief mount that's the higher quality one. There is a hole right here for a Phillips head screwdriver to stick in. You loosen this just a little bit. You turn the screwdriver for fine adjustments left or right, and there's 3 of those. There's a hole here, there's a hole here, and there's a hole here for what is it? What are the words for aviation? Yaw, tilt, and roll, is that what they are?
Yaw, pitch, and roll.
There you go. You can fine tune that, and you can loosen this screw just a tiny bit so that you have to turn this kinda hard, and when you turn this, it's like a real fine
Now, to
gear.
be clear, you can get this mount not on this general purpose mount.
Yes, the bottom part can be a plate or it can be
Yes.
this universal
Yes.
style.
So you can
But
get the one for a JVC or for whatever they're doing, but it doesn't have to be that top one, because I had one that had for my JVC with the JVC plate that had the thing that Jonathan is talking up.
yeah, so avoid this RPA type mount from Chief. It's just a much cheaper, much, much, much cheaper product. The RPMAU, or it's just RPMA, is the one
But
that you want, and the U is universal for
I've
that
still
bottom.
never had problems with the other one walking.
I'm not impressed with this style. It's just not as strong or as industrial. I don't think I've seen this style, have you? With
No.
little star screws to turn with by hand?
How much is that mount?
$600.
Holy crap!
A lot, isn't it? You can get, for cheap stuff, you can get a plate. So what Ryan was talking about here, instead of having these arms that can be universal for anything, you can get a plate that's specifically mounted, and more importantly, a lot of times balanced.
What he should try before he gets another mount is put Loctite on it, man.
Yeah, but if you got that first style, I don't think Loctite's gonna help you, 'cause this is just first off, ask him which one he has. If he has this style, I don't think Loctite's gonna help you very
Why
much.
wouldn't it help?
Because it's kind of like a goofy little system. These are not as strong as the more industrial one. This is a much smaller sized mount. Like, it's more of a toyish thing. It's for a lesser weight
It's not that
object.
bad.
Well,
I'm saying Loctite is a worthwhile check because it's not a whole lot of money before you buy an entire
or maybe even like a rubber or nitrile gasket, that might help on if you have this style.
Maybe.
I don't think you need that kinda stuff with this. Like, I don't need Loctite with this. This thing locks in hard.
No, I'm not saying you do. I'm saying that is you should test that before buying another $300 mount.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Looks
Anyway.
like you can just buy this little piece alone. Here it is right here. And this uses regular is it NTP or MPT? I can't remember which one it is, but National Pipe Thread, whatever the standard is, that you can buy from Home Depot for what it's worth. This is a 1.5-inch standard pipe thread, and Home Depot sells it for piping. So you can go get any length you want of metal, and you can order online any length you want. You don't have to buy it directly from Chief or anything. You get a nice flange at the top because, again, this is standard, so you can buy any flange from Home Depot for that 1.5-inch, and I'm not strong enough to move this mount when it's locked in. So I don't know what you're talking about by walking if you have this mount. The end. Stop sharing.
The end. All right, King has another question. I've heard that some users are experiencing difficulties by eliminating the infrasonic bass with art. What's up with that? The issue is that auto EQ, and not just art, has difficulties with infrasonic bass. Infrasonic bass, lower frequencies are just hard to deal with, and they haven't figured it out yet. That's really all it is. So the workaround that I've had with the infrasonic subs is art doesn't know that my infrasubs exist. It just knows that my kick subs exist, and the kick subs play down to 30 or 25 hertz. And then zone 2 has the infrasonics, and then we've crossed them into each other manually. So that's how we've gotten around it. And we kind of did the same thing we had to do the same thing with waveforming in a way. We had to use a QSC, a QSYS in order to do that. So I'm cheating. Otherwise, it would create all kinds of chaos in that situation. I don't have a good solution for you, King, for that, because it doesn't work, unfortunately. Another question from King. Do ALR woven screens exist? ST130 won't work for me due to limited space between LCR and the screen.
Not that I know about.
Not that I know of either.
Part of that would be that the fibers and so forth could rotate or twist and so forth if it's woven, right? Because it's thread at that point, and they
Isn't
need
the
that
Center Stage
coating.
XD slightly
XD is it's plasticky, but it's still threads. I mean, like, it could rotate or change. So ALR is supposed to have a coating that's directional. You can't really do a directional coating if the threads can move, right, with a
Yeah.
cloth. I think that's probably why that doesn't exist very much.
Yeah. I don't have a good answer for you, King. Unfortunately, you could stand off the screen a little bit, put it on a 2x4, and put a French cleat on the 2x4, maybe. Don't have another good solution for you there, unfortunately.
This is in response to Tim constantly talking about how much blacks are important. How good are blacks when your whites are gray? That's so true. Tim, Ryan's got you.
Mm-hmm. It's always a compromise. Angus Small, what do you all think about the new Onkyo PR RZ91 15-channel processor? It is THX Dominus. What does that mean for a processor? I have no idea. And I also hear it may support 6 subs.
6 subs out is cool.
That'd be
Onkyo's
cool.
cool. Dominus doesn't really mean a whole heck of
What
a
does
lot
that even mean?
without having the specs be not black box.
And then you don't even know what it means for the speakers, really.
Yeah. It has obtained some sort of certification level with THX, but they've watered down their certifications like so much over the years.
Here, we've given you a stamp. What does the stamp mean? I have no idea. Sell it.
It's a marketing gimmick and has been for a lot of years, unfortunately. I would like it not to be. I really think that didn't have to go that direction, but it did. It did.
Competition is great. So I'm I'm happy it exists.
I think it'll be a good product. I mean, the Onkyo RZ50 and RZ70 are good products. Onkyo, I've owned them. I have a 5508 now. I like it. So it'll be a good product. The front of it looks beautiful. Have you seen the way it looks?
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks a lot like Anthem.
Nice big screen.
$20 super chat, Denon or sneakers for me. Thank you for the $20. Much appreciated. Denon X6700H to a mini DSP, 1 out, to a Crown XLS 250 2502 for 15-inch GSG, second output to a shoe. You can read that.
My brain is not strong tonight.
I wouldn't have been strong trying to follow what I was saying either.
I've been watching this streamer called Burnt Peanut, little clips on YouTube about his Arc Raiders playing. He kind of teases stuff like this sometimes. Like, I won't even do it, but just like, it's too many words. Mini DSP 2x4 to 1 output to a Crown 2502 amp for a 15. Second output feeds a HSU TN1. Before multi-sub output, how should I handle gain structure, or should I be level matching? Level matching is usually done before he does MSO or after?
Before.
Are you doing it both though? Because if you're changing frequencies and so forth based on placement, you might end up doing it after as well, potentially.
Are you moving the sub doing MSO?
No, you wouldn't be doing that. MSO is just like an EQ routine.
Yeah, you're going to do it multiple times. But when you're trying to figure out where you're going to have the best sub placement, you want a level match. Otherwise, what are you doing?
I think I would use your Denon 6700's built-in like test tones, and I would set your subs to 75, for instance, just to get started. You got your mini SP feeding both of them. Set your gain on your Crown XLS 2502 very low, because it's going to need to be for that 15. And then your HSU, I'm not sure their gain structure, but probably low as well. You're going to be able to turn that gain up at the end, but start it with it low so that you have a level match to start before you do MSO. That's what I would do. Then do your MSO, your EQ function, whatever. MSO is exchangeable for whatever EQ function again. And then check your gain again at the end to make sure that they're in the same ballpark. And not gain, I'm saying that, I would say check your SPL from your subs after you've done your MSO to make sure that they're relatively similar. If you only got 2 subs and they're different types and they're in different places in the room, you're gonna have very different EQ curves for them, most likely, if you're doing any kind of, like, sub-optimization. Like, they're not gonna have the same high points and low points. They're gonna be complementing each other. But you still probably want them gain matched, or you're going to probably hear one from one side of the room over the other, potentially. So you're doing it both. Use the built-in Denon 67 test tones to match them before you get started. Do MSO, and then check them again with an SPL meter afterwards. That's what I'd recommend.
Do what Jonathan said. Yeah.
I wish I was smart enough to come up with that one that Tim said about, or that Ryan said about whites being gray. Amen.
I'm never that smart.
I didn't think of that.
Tim had a good comment, though. Where did that comment go? I'm looking for it.
Microperf and ultraperf?
No. Oh, it wasn't Tim. His big dog. Are we supposed to take our pants off for this episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't you already?
Mine have been gone for a while.
What is going on?
I don't know.
I didn't even know where this is coming from.
Did you see that guy's username?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was well put together. Okay, we've got 2 questions left. Sean Warren, question: how do I get better picture from a Panasonic 4K UHD? I have it connected to a Samsung 4K TV, but the picture quality is not as good as Blu-ray. I got this emailed. He emailed this to me, and I didn't have time to respond a second time.
So he's got a little player, like, it won't go down low enough, like this, like a Panasonic UV.
Yeah,
or 820.
Probably. I wonder if it's doing upscaling.
I mean, that just really can't be, can it? Unless he has color space not matching or something, potentially, like something's
what
really
I'm thinking
wrong.
is the upscaling could be super sharpening things, and he could like the over sharpness that he's getting from the upscaling algorithm. Maybe.
Sean, you got to give us more information. Is this specific titles, all titles? Like, what are we talking about here? Because there are times where 4K HDR, depending on the display, Samsung 4K TV doesn't tell us what generation it is. A 4K HDR thing, depending on the display, might look worse than an SDR if, like, it's a bad HDR master or an old HDR master or something like that.
Not even HDR, UHD against Blu-ray. So 4K against 1080p.
I think he's got to be talking about HDR connected to 4K, doesn't he?
I don't know.
Give us more information, Sean. That shouldn't be. It can absolutely be if you have an older display and your HDR tone mapping's poor and it doesn't do well with that, potentially. There are settings you can set on your Panasonic too. You can have it do the tone mapping from HDR. You can have it remap to SDR with like a static tone mapping.
Jonathan has assumed this is an HDR question.
I think it is. You don't think it is?
I don't know.
Tell me what you think it is if you don't think
I don't know what it is. I'm just giving you crap because you've made an assumption.
Yeah, she probably left. We didn't answer him fast enough. He's gone. Sean, if you're back, tell us what you know. Tell us what we're asking, just for more information.
He's here. I think I'm upscaling, but the 4K just doesn't look good. So it is resolution.
No, he's got to tell us more. He just told us the same thing twice. Tell us. Use more words, Sean.
Jonathan wants you to tell him that he's right. That's what he wants.
Use more words.
But there are 4K discs that don't look nearly as good as the Blu-rays. So it is important to know what you're looking at too. Jonathan just wants to know that he's right. His wife tells him that he's wrong too much.
So isn't that the truth?
Last question until we go back to Sean. What's the difference between microperf and ultraperf? And is the spacing requirements the same between them? Ultraperf has more holes. I don't know on the spacing requirement. It would be, I would assume you could get closer. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. The ultraperf just has more holes, and I think they're smaller. Many more holes. And you can only ultraperf ST130 and Firehawk. Those are the only 2 materials that you can alter perf from Stuart. I do not know on the difference. I'll email Stuart for you guys and then forget what the answer is. Then you guys won't ask me about it, but I will email them. Did Sean give us more information? We're going to come back to Sean.
Old, connect with SVS HDMI.
STV Reed says, because we had another question. My NZ900 looks just fine in my not so dark room. 150-inch screen. Thanks for selling it to me, Ryan. Could be better with like a Eclipse or something.
I think what's very interesting about this, Reed, is that you think that it looks fine now, and if you watch that in a Velvet room, it would knock your socks off. Like it would raise a tear or two.
Don't listen to Jonathan. Be happy.
And I've told this story before, and I'm going to tell it again because it's worth hearing. I got my NZ500 after I watched it over at Sheldon's room. My screen is smaller. My screen is higher gain. I got an NZ500 because I loved his image so much. I thought this is revolutionary. I got it home and I thought mine's defective. It doesn't look nearly.
I remember you saying that.
I called Sheldon up the next day. I went over to Sheldon's house, projector under arm, and wanted to make sure it was defective, document it was defective so I could send it back. Guess what? It wasn't defective. It looked identical to his projector in his room, and it's because the front third of his room is velvet. It has way more pop in a velvet room. It looks way brighter because of that. And it has better blacks because there's not as much light bopping around. So that's when I actually put some velvet in my room. I didn't do enough of it. I need more of it. I don't kind of like combating the idea because I don't even really want an all velvet room. But you can say it looks fine in your not so dark room. Your room is the single limiting factor of why the NZ900 doesn't look like amazing. I mean,
let me rephrase what Jonathan is saying. Your projector looks great in your room.
It's limited by your room.
Better.
I'm not saying
if
that.
You put velvet on it.
There you go. Yes.
Yes.
It will. Your room is your limiting factor in almost every case, unless it's just velvet.
In everything, not just video.
Especially.
The same thing with audio. Room has way more impact on these things than you think. Mm-hmm. The NZ900 probably looks fantastic in your room, but he is right. If you put velvet on it, it will look better. But the topic of yesterday's stream that we did was, do aesthetics matter?
They do.
How much are you willing to give up aesthetic-wise in the pursuit of performance?
That does matter. And that's why I didn't do the front further in my room in velvet, because I like having some texture and visual cues that I'm in a room and not a hole.
Do you think velvet will help with the Epson?
I just saw that thing pop up and I was racing to star it. I have a suspicion, and this needs to be tested. My room's not as black as Sheldon's still, even though I have some velvet. I have a black carpet up here now. I put velvet on the walls, covering the first few feet. I blackened it out some. The Epson LS12000, in my opinion, looks better in my room than it does in Sheldon's Black Pit. It's the same LS12000. He just bought it from me. We did the comparison in here amongst those projectors, and then I took the LS12. Well, he took it over there because he bought it. We did the LS12000 against two of the same projectors and the Max versus the Pro at his room. There was more difference between the NZ500 in his room and the LS12000 than there was in my room between the LS12000 and the NZ500. And I think what he's referring to is saying, like, does Black Velvet help the Epson? I kind of have the suspicion it might not, because your eyes adjust to what is a true black. Like, you can't, in a blackout room with no ambient light, you can't see anything when you're looking at velvet. It's black, 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 black. The contrast on the Epsons, the black floor is not black, 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 black. It's gray. So if you have black, 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 black as your reference, gray looks grayer. But if you don't have that as your reference, like you have no velvet on the front wall, that gray doesn't really look gray because there's no reference to black. So I think I'm coming to the conclusion, and this needs to be tested further, but just from this most recent thing, it's like the opposite. The JVC has that black floor that's so black, and the Epson doesn't. The velvet helps the JVC, but I think
it helps both, but it hurts the JVC more because of its higher native contrast. It's not able to get to those numbers because of the reflections.
Certainly hurts the JVC more, but I might think that it hurts the Epson a little bit too.
But in my opinion, intrascene contrast is more important than native.
And Velvet helps intrascene as well.
For sure. Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't. I just value intrascene more than native. It's used in more scenes. Should we go back to Sean's comment? Do you see his stuff in chat? He's talking.
I missed it. I'm not sure the main issue is the room is never dark. Well, that's not what he's talking about. Let's go down a little bit further, I guess. I think it's bright. Then I changed the TV dynamic and got B. This one.
Ryan suggested that he look at his presets. I think his calibration settings in the JVC.
I think this question sums it up right here as far as that discussion. If you put that QL7000 in Sheldon's Velvet Pit, I think it'd look worse for it than if you put it in Ryan's room. I think the QL7000 will look better in Ryan's room than Sheldon's room. And I think the Velvet is the difference. Because the gray won't look as gray in Ryan's room. It just won't. The native black floor won't look as gray in Ryan's room as it does next to black surrounding everything, where all you see is black and then you have a gray black floor.
Yeah, that's fair.
We can test it. When Ryan wink wink gets his QL7000, we should bring it over to Sheldon's room.
He's going to get the M4K.
Test it. That's $80,000.
I think that ruined him when he saw that.
Woo.
Just getting texts from him like, this is amazing. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
But it is expensive. Anything else?
Did we help Sean or did we just...
I don't have an answer for Sean. I don't know what's going on. Do you? Because I don't.
I don't even understand the situation.
I think it's upscaling. I think it's a resolution problem. You're just convinced it's HDR. I think it's upscaling. But I don't know. Jonathan's lost in thought.
I'm just reading some of the comments here. We're caught up on comments. We're going to have a short one tonight. Hour and a half. Is that short?
An hour and a half.
Short?
Wasn't short.
Not really short.
Not really short. All right. When do you want to do next week? Do you know?
Friday probably would work, I think. Do you want to do... We were thinking about doing like a...
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll talk to you after the podcast, actually.
Okay. So we don't know when we're streaming yet.
Happy bullets. Always like a smart allocating answer.
Like this is any different.
Turn it off and on again.
No. Who knows? Who knows when we're streaming? I don't know. You'll know when we know, which is probably
Thursday or Friday, Saturday, something like that. Safe.
Yeah, they do. Everybody just sits in front of their computer until
waiting for us.
Just waiting. That's exactly what they do. Waiting. I will be at ISE in 2 weeks. But maybe there'll be some cool stuff there. I don't know. Sometimes there's some cool stuff, but I go to see everybody else. We'll find out.
Somebody mentioned all the DLP news at CEDIA.
At CES, you mean?
Yes, yeah, sorry.
I don't know.
I think that's true. It does seem like there's a lot of DLP news pouring out there. New chips, new processing, new capability.
Yeah. I know nothing about it. It's good, though. Hopefully Barco and Christie have some stuff that they announced. No idea. There was a new single chip DLP that came from Christie. It's like an 860 with detachable lenses. Know nothing about it. Just released today. So who knows how that's going to be. Need Vader. Hopefully we get to talk about that soon.
What's your story on high contrast lens? Is that just done?
No idea.
Is he still working on it? Is Alan still working on it?
He's waiting for a Griffin. So
what do you mean waiting for a Griffin? Like one to just like fall out of the sky? What are you talking about?
Historically, how it happens is if somebody wants a modified lens, and they're getting a projector, a new deployment. The projector would go to him first, and then he modifies everything together and then sends it on. That's how it typically happens. Problem is he had one, and then it went on, and these lenses did get finished, so we're kinda stuck.
Ship him yours and use John's Pro 2 in the meantime.
Absolutely not. My projector is not moving. I don't even know if it'll come out, to be clear. It's got a 1/4 inch of space.
Yeah.
No. It's not moving. I'm not dealing with that. I don't even know if it'll come out. There's a custom hush box around it. That thing's in there until it
You move.
changes to something else. No, until it's coming out and then not going back in. Maybe something else would go back in its place.
No, you told me that was a family heirloom. It's not.
Oh, I mean, it kind of is. It would have to be a big change because it's what was it? Christie released a spec that said if you watch that thing at 60% laser for 50,000 hours, you would only lose 10% of your laser brightness, which is nuts. I mean, that 50,000 hours would mean it would have to be on for 7 years, 8 hours a day.
Yes.
It's not gonna happen. John is just like, yes.
Oh, man.
It is an heirloom at that point. I mean, it'll never lose brightness. I've had it on. I've probably watched over 1,000 hours, and I've lost like half a percentage point. If it's unnoticeable, unmeasurable. But I mean, that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to be on all the time. Anyway, JBL is supposed to be releasing some new stuff. Hopefully, we'll have some information about that at ISE and later this quarter.
One more thing. Tim will be mad at me if I don't confess this because he's mad at me that I said this the other night. Last stream, I said that the QL7000 is better than any commercial cinema I've ever seen, and that was true. But I think it's been supplanted. The Dolby Cinema at Knoll has a fantastic projector. 2 of them for the 3D, of course.
Is it Dolby Vision?
I tried to figure out what projector it was. I don't know. I tried to look it up online. I couldn't find it. I don't know if it's Christie Eclipse or what.
Is it the Dolby Vision theaters?
Yes.
It's going to be the Eclipse.
It looked fantastic. And it was 3D, and the 3D was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, he's like, look, you just said last week that you think the QL7000 beats any commercial cinema projector. You can't let that ride. And I said, that was a true statement at the time. It's now this week, and I saw a better image.
The Christie Eclipse is a $400,000 projector. So,
and the screen is like 60 feet tall or something. It was a fantastic screen.
Oh, well, maybe it's not.
Like that's the best theater in Kansas City that I've been to, and I haven't been there in a long time.
Maybe it's not. Is it Dolby Vision?
It's Dolby Cinema. They advertise Dolby Vision at the front of it, all like multiple ads, so I'd assume so.
Oh, it must be. It's got to be the Eclipse. I don't think Barco.
It was bright. It was bright. It was black. It looked good. The exit lights didn't take over the lighting. Like, you know how I told you that's the reason the QL7000 is better in my opinion, because the exit lighting and the row lighting and all that stuff like makes it so the contrast wasn't good. That screen was big enough at that Dolby Cinema that those things didn't overwhelm the screen, and it looked fantastic. If it's Christie Eclipse, and I've now seen a Christie Eclipse, color me impressed.
Yeah, it's that projector, the Eclipse. I've seen it multiple times. I've seen the new one. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. But it's enormous, and it's really expensive. But trickle-down effect. I mean, that is hopefully where it'll come down eventually, someday. Maybe.
Tim was like, you got to correct yourself on that. I was like, look, it was a true statement. The time I made it last week, things have changed since last week. Do I have to go back and change everything I ever said?
Liar.
Time?
Liar.
Until this week, I would still stand by
pants on fire. But you don't have pants
any
on.
commercial cinema projector I've ever seen until this week.
Okay.
And that Fire and Ash, I didn't like the movie that much, but the sound and video was fantastic.
Ryan, I'm pretty sure the new Gen 3 Eclipse, it's the same projector. They just call it something else. From my understand, I think they're the same. Could be wrong, but in the conversations I've had, I'm pretty sure they're the same unit.
Blue exit signs in this theater, Classy Tech, instead of green. And the exit signs were placed so that they didn't shine on the screen at that particular theater, which is really nice because that's always a problem, even if it's red light. The exit row lighting was still there. It was light blue or like a blue, but it wasn't super bright.
Excuse me.
I haven't seen it before, Stitch, not with that projector. If I've been in that room before, it did not have that projector. I've not seen anything look that good in a commercial cinema.
There's a few on AVS forums.
Art is one of them. Who else? You know another one? Art Sonnenberg is the only one I
Excuse me. Good. Okay. We got to wrap it up.
Which, by the way, Art occasionally has get-togethers, and we should go one year when he has one.
I don't need more time with an Eclipse. That's bad for me. I steer away from things like that because we've had talk about Arc Raider, whatever the video game is. I avoid situations like this. Hey, yeah. Let's go see this really cool thing. And Ryan's just going this way to avoid it. Oh, okay. Let's wrap up. You and I can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to have a sneezing fit. And we'll see you guys whenever we stream next time. Right? And maybe we'll answer Sean's question about UHD and Blu-ray. Okay. Well, enjoy your home theater's journeys. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you when we see you, I guess.